Let's go to the next topic. Oh, wow. I got this lined up next. Shit, from all this joking and playing to getting real serious real quick. Okay. Um, so yeah, we have an update in Rodney Hinton Jr.'s situation. We've been covering it. This is the third video now where we're covering this topic. It's going to be very edgy. It's going to be a cultural divide. It already is. It's going to be uncomfortable at times for parents, for mothers, for fathers, um, for people that have an issue with what he did. You got to go to my first video from last week talking about where I stand morally, his rights and his wrongs as far as his actions, right? Yesterday, we broke down more reaction to the new footage of him. I think that was a good, we had fun with that topic. When I say fun, I mean that we kept it interesting. And now today, death penalty on the table? Wow.
The man accused of killing Deputy Henderson now faces the death penalty after a new indictment by a Hamilton County grand jury. WCPO 9 News reporter Sean Delancey has followed this case every step of the way and spoke to the prosecutor about the capital case she now leads.
Yeah, correct. These are the charges that a grand jury brought down against Rodney Hinton Jr. Aggravated murder carries the death penalty, and prosecutor Connie Pillich says her office will pursue it.
It was the defendant's specific purpose to kill a law enforcement officer.
Prosecutor Pillich says Hinton intentionally hit and killed Deputy Larry Henderson after he watched video of a Cincinnati police officer shooting and killing his son, Ryan Hinton, a day before. CPD says Ryan ran from a stolen car armed with a firearm. A police shooting leading to what appears to be an act of retribution. Do you see it that way? And can you comment on the unprecedented nature of this case?
I can only tell you that I've never seen someone hunted down and killed like this.
Previous prosecutor.
Did you see that answer that she gave, y'all? She did not answer the question. Slow it down. He asked her, do you see this as an act of retribution? She said, I've never seen an officer hunted down like that. The retribution had nothing to do with the officer answer. He's asking you about Rodney. I mean, for what she's up there representing on the podium and who she is, it's a perfect answer. But that didn't go over our heads.
Prosecutors have taken these cases up themselves and prosecuted them personally. Is that something you plan to do?
Real quick, too, the reason why I think for where she stands in all of this, why she gave a perfect answer, because a question about retribution from anybody on the law side, on the court side, even when the case goes to trial, if you allow the retribution to come in aspect, it will create leniency in certain people's eyes. And people in her position don't want that, right? Classic example, we've actually referenced this one recently, A Time to Kill. Okay, his lawyer painted that traumatic scene in our minds, said, close your eyes. This is what happened as she was walking down the road. They beat her, they awed her, they did this, they did that. They threw over the rocks, they left her to dead. And now open your eyes. Opens your eyes. Now imagine that girl was white. And everybody says, oh, I did even in the fucking movie. Made my skin crawl a little bit just now doing it. I was seeing the movie a little bit while my eyes was closed. You paint a picture of retribution. You paint a picture of what would you do if you was the father? What would you do? How would you feel if it was you? And she ducked that shit. She said, oh, no. I cannot get into anything related to this man and how the general father would feel. I just want to talk about a cop being hunted down and ran over. I'm telling you, man, we're going to keep covering this. This is going to stay very edgy.
And if not, who will be prosecuting it?
I have my top two criminal lawyers on this, Kate Burrows and Kip Guinan.
Have they pursued capital murder cases in the past?
Yes.
As for Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey, what are your thoughts on the death penalty being applied here?
I stand with the prosecutor. I am the sheriff of Hamilton County. I have sworn to uphold the law, and the prosecutor is following the grand jury.
That said, McGuffey called for a cooling of temperatures for everyone as investigations continue.
But I'm asking you to please let justice play out in all cases.
Pillich refused to talk about the police.
So it came out of the grand jury justifications to seek death penalty for this. It's not solidified, right? If Trump going for death penalty for anybody that would kill an officer. Is he going for that across all states? Drop a comment below. Y'all hit me. I don't follow politics too much. Big updates and stuff like that comes across my table, of course. But drop a comment for me. Let me know where things are with that, what Trump is pushing for. But okay, if that came out of the grand jury, that shouldn't shock us. A police officer losing their life, and then the death penalty being on the tip. Now, whether that holds all the way through or not, the death penalty could somewhere along the lines be taken off the table. Also, sometimes death penalties are taken off the table in the form of plea deals, plea agreements, right? You take this life sentence without the opportunity for parole, we'll remove death penalty. You could just spend the rest of your life in jail. I mean, what do you think you're going to be facing no matter what? You're either going to be facing the loss of your life in jail or the loss of your life on, after you make it down death row, and then whatever that particular state would do, like let's say a lethal injection or whatever. Or anyway, yeah, I'll leave that there. But for killing a police officer, if convicted, there is no 15 to 20. There is no 20 to 25. Like there is no well, I don't know. If I go Google it, has anybody made parole after killing a police officer? And it's going to change state by state too, right? Things are going to be different depending on where certain things happen. But killing a cop, period. We'll see what happens as far as him fighting or possibly having the death penalty on the table. You saw the chief there. She said, "Yeah, we back it. What came out of the grand jury." But then what did she do after that? She says, "I want everybody to please allow this to play out." You know what that is? That's just trying to keep tensions calm. Like in Ohio right now, or any of the accompanying areas of where this took place, the shooting of the child, as well as the police officer that was ran over. Anywhere in a neighboring area or zip codes, it could be hot right now. You could have black and white people standing on the line at the supermarket right now, snickering at it. One other reference, I'm telling you, I'm the reference king. Martin. Remember the reference that Martin said after the Rodney King verdict? He said, "You can get over in traffic that day," right? He could wave to a white guy in the car and be like, "Can I get over?" You know, it's like, "Oh, come on, get in." Like, because it's like, damn, like the Rodney King shit is crazy. And the cop got off, so white people, they fall back a little. That's how society is, right? Things will get culturally tense real fast. That's what I don't like about what Kanye does. That's what I don't like about some of our presidents, what they do, because it's not necessarily at times a direct effect to me, right? Something changes with tax, or something changes with this. But if you come out and you say, "I'm building a wall," and then if y'all have sons or daughters that go to school and they're Mexican or of Mexican or Spanish descent, and some other kid just listening to Trump interprets that a way to treat that little child a certain way. That's what I mean about the influence. That's one of my biggest, if not the biggest things that I have with Kanye. If y'all haven't picked up on that in some of my constantly covering his fuck shit, right? Yeah, it's news. Yeah, it's entertaining. But that's one of my most consistent things about Kanye. He's such a big entity and such a big voice. But anyway, back to this. She had to calm that. They have to continue to try to calm that. It's going to be so racially tense, all the way through his trial. Please, y'all, don't try to take things. That's the type of situation that when the verdict comes down from his trial, regardless of what side of the gate you stand on, it's a good day to stay home. It's a good day to stay in the house. Right? OJ beats his case. It just feels like a good day to stay home for me. A lot of people during Donald Trump's first presidential run, a lot of colored people are adverse from him. Or you see a bunch of racist KKK and bigots and skinheads and Aryans outside waiting for, the presidential run to come to a conclusion and see if he won or not. For me, good day to stay inside. That happens. This is the world that we live in, people. It's the world that we live in. I could look up at the news, see some shit, and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hang out this weekend." Real shit. For real, pay attention, man. And this is one of them situations that's gonna do that. But yeah, they got him facing the death penalty. Drop a comment below if you feel like he should be or he shouldn't be. Even answering those questions right now, I feel like it's tense for people. But all right, let's leave that one there for now. I want to go. Let me check out the chat real quick for a second. Even this, I feel like it's transition. Like if I come to the chat, be a little bit more interactive. That's the type of stuff that will not be in the clips. You got to be either a member Monday through Friday, catch it on Spotify Monday through Friday, or see it on Saturday and Sunday when it's available to when we stream public. I just want to keep drumming home. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't catch everything in one form or another. I want all the content from our stream, all the important content from our streams to be available to everybody in one form or another. Okay. I never want to be the person that comes off like, oh, he's just making us be members. Fuck no, I ain't. I barely even say it. My moderators remind me all the time or remind the chat about memberships and whatnot. I damn near forget to. I don't really promote it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it through the roof, but I don't really promote it enough, to be honest. That boy Jizzle, appreciate the super says, and this happens to be a father holding his beautiful child here. Look at this. But ARP, as a father of two boys over mines, walking down or running down 12 anyway. Oh, 12 years? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to make sure I interpret that emoji correctly. Down 12, and I'm walking down 12. I'm walking down 12. 12 as in cops. Okay. I'm walking down 12. Anyone that has something to do with it, and I'll lay my life down for it. Don't plan on living. Yeah. So I understand it. And that's some of what we discussed yesterday on the stream. The red tunnel. I'm going to continue to say that because that's my personalized terminology for somebody that's blacking out, somebody that doesn't care, somebody that they can't hear anything. They could only see one thing. They're in a tunnel. Those are the mothers that can lift up cars because their baby is caught underneath. You know what I mean. You're just gone. You could pummel somebody to death, and then when you finally get pulled off, you look down, you realize like, oh shit, what did I just? You're in, it's like temporary insanity. The red tunnel, eyes full of blood, metaphorically speaking. You take the life of somebody's child, they're probably going to end up in that red tunnel, especially under these type of circumstances. Okay. John Gotti, one of the biggest gangsters in gangster history. His child was lost. His neighbor accidentally killed his son. Accidentally hit him with a car at like an intersection. Kid was riding on his bike. John Gotti's kid died behind. It was an accident. Once again, one of the biggest gangsters in gangster history did not want retribution for his son losing his life because of how it happened, the circumstances. Sammy the Bull went and did it anyway. At least that's the story that we have been given to the public. That Sammy the Bull was like, fuck that. I don't care if John is green lighting this or not. I'm doing it. Nah, you can't be behind, accident or not, one of our kids being lost. So even Sammy had that much of an emotional moment. Like, this is my man, this is my brother, this is my boss, and you killed his son. I don't care how it happened. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying? He felt emotional for John, you know? So that's the red tunnel, man. Like, this guy, go watch yesterday's stream, the footage, or actually I got the clip up as well from yesterday. That footage, man, he's not talking. His energy, his vibe is don't come back from the place that he's in, especially that he's in custody and he probably won't have the fulfillment that he got the person that he thinks is responsible. And that topic is in the first video where we cover this. It's deep, man. I'm serious about this topic. It's deep, man. But I understand what you're saying, Jizzle. I don't want to be in any situations that put me in a red tunnel. You know, it's an ugly place to be. So much respect, Jizzle. Much respect. Shout out to Ethan. Cops been bad. This isn't new behavior. There's always bad apples amongst any bunch. I'm so experienced. When I was growing up, it was fuck the police. I called them pigs. I hated them. I didn't give two fucks about them. By the time I got into my teens, one of my closest friends, his father was a detective, right? He was like a second father to me. Like my father wasn't around, but the way that that man treated us as a friend group and treated me, and the amount of respect I had for him as a man, like he's one of the men I was able to watch and see. That's how an alpha is supposed to move. That's how a man's man is supposed to be. Just happened to be a detective though, you know. And then I have other experiences where, you know, I'm driving through states, you know, doing 120. My younger years, man, I don't drive like that no more. You can't catch me going over 80 these days. But my younger years, doing a buck 20 on a highway. I had a cop one time that pulled me over and said, "Hey man, you know why I pulled you over?" And I was honest. I said, "Yeah, man, I was speeding." It's all right. Stay right there for me. Comes back. He gives me a ticket for changing lanes without signaling. Doesn't give me the speeding ticket. One of the reasons why he didn't give me a speeding ticket is because this was between me driving between New York and Atlanta. And whatever state in between I got pulled over, I believe if I wanted to contest it or I would have to appear in court for it, right? And he sees I'm a young kid, took my license, see my age and everything, live in New York. And he's just like, I don't want you to have to come back here for this. And the last words that he kind of left me with was like, don't kill yourself out here. It's not worth it. Just slow down, man. Take it easy. I love that cop. I had another cop. I was walking to a club. I'll tell you, there's another true story in Manhattan. Well, my man AB, right? He could attest to this story. I had a little Smirnoff wine cooler, right? The little the whatever ice joints, that's like the white drink, whatever. Don't ask me why I was drinking that bullshit, little wine coolers. All right, wine coolers was okay back then, okay? But we parked up, and now we was walking to the club. I had an open bottle in my hand, you know, my little my little pregame as we walk into the club. And as we turned the corner, there was two cops, two fully dressed, badged up cops just doing nightly walking beat just because the club is there. And as soon as I turned the corner, I seen them and they seen me. And it was like an instinct. Like in the same motion while I seen them, there was a garbage pan on a corner. And I said, boop. Cops walked up on us and said, hold, stop. What'd you just throw away? And I treated dude like an idiot. I was just like, I ain't throwing nothing in there. He's like, you just threw a bottle in there. Grab it. He didn't want to grab it. He was like, grab it. And I was just like, nah, I ain't grabbing it. I ain't do nothing. He was like, you're gonna look me in my face and talk to me like we didn't just see each other and you didn't just throw a bottle of liquor into the garbage right in front of me. And I was like, I ain't throw nothing out, man. I ain't throw nothing out, officer. I don't know what you're talking about. So I was getting under his skin a little bit from that. So then one of them starts to write me a desk appearance ticket. Don't get arrested on the spot for nothing like that. It's they give you a ticket on the spot that you have to go to court and appear for, right? There's two cops. The older one's writing this ticket. The younger one that I was talking to and answering like he was an idiot, somehow we ended up in an eye-to-eye face-off. I'm talking about like this, right? Because we're being detained. We're not in handcuffs. We're not under arrest. We're just being detained. So we're like this. It's cold. It's winter. My man AB, I know you know this whole story. Like, oh, I know he's I got my hands in my pocket. And the young one's he's just mad at me. He's just like, take your hands out of your pocket. And I was just like, why? He was like, because I told you, take your hands out of your pocket. Now, his justification as a cop is going to be for my safety. I want to see that you're not holding any weapons in your pockets or whatever, right? And I was being a dick. I was young, and I was very, very standoffish to police when I was young. I was just like, no, my hands are cold. That's the way I was raised, right? It's like, no, my hands are cold. He grabs both my shoulders, my jacket, I had a leather jacket on, yanks it up so that my hands come out the pocket and then yanks down so that my hands are on the side of my body. when he did the yank down, I felt a tear on the inside of my jacket. And I was in my mind, I was like, this nigga just ripped my fucking jacket on the inside of my shit. And the way I looked at him, because I was pissed that number one, he put his fucking hands on me. And number two, my jacket got ripped on the inside. I could feel it. I could hear it and feel it. I'm looking at him. He could see in my eyes, I want to do something to you. So I'm like, and he's looking back in my eyes, and his whole face reads, please, I am begging you, give me a fucking reason, please. And we just stayed locked eyes for like 10, 15 seconds. 10, 15 seconds. If you sit there and you count it, it's an eternity. Or just, right? Cop comes, gives me the citation, walk off. Walk off. Ruined the first half of my party. I was steaming of my night. I couldn't get it out of my mind for like the first half of the party. Ruined me, man. I had to get in there and start drinking, get drunk or something, maybe. But the guy that pulled me over, the detective that is one of my was one of my closest friends' father. I have 20 of these I could tell y'all about. Good cops and bad cops that I've crossed paths with. I have 20 of these stories. I'll save them for different streams. It experienced me to a point where I could say, my young years of fuck all these police, fuck all y'all, that was ignorant. And that's what I mean when I say there's just apples that spoil the bunch. You experience that. You get a little older, you realize, like, I'm not supposed to hate all black people. I'm not supposed to hate all white people. I'm not supposed to hate all Asian people, all Hispanic people, all police officers. I'm not supposed to. Do I have an issue with the people that don't do the job the right way or take advantage of us or treat us like shit? Absolutely. Is it a stereotype that these police have deserved and earned themselves? Absolutely. But I can't treat every cop like they are like that. I just can't. It's no longer in me to do that anymore because I'm experienced to realize, like, some of y'all would save my life. What movie was that? Crash. Y'all can't fuck with me with references. You can't. You can't, son. Crash. I think the image of that cop was like he was a racist, right? But fast forward later on, he was the same cop that saved the black one. Doesn't Lil Wayne have one of those stories too? Wasn't it a cop that saved his life, Lil Wayne, when he shot himself? Right? Chat, am I on point this morning or not? Huh? Kelson says Crash is a solid movie. Me says 3 out of 4 cops that's helped me were YT. Black cops be the ones crashing out. You mean like Boys in? I referenced like 5. I referenced too easily. My bad. You mean like the Boys in the Hood scene? We went Crash, Lil Wayne, and Boys in the Hood in the span of 30 seconds. I'm telling y'all, I'm the reference king. I don't want anybody to ever contest that title from Battle Rap on me. I'm telling y'all. Oh, it was in the chest when Lil Wayne shot himself. Yeah, and it was a cop that saved him, right? Should I upload this piece as a clip? This was a nice build right here. Should I upload this? Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you. Thank you, Homebody. Appreciate you. I used to do that in my edited blogs. It was my way of driving the points home because you reference something that somebody could visualize and it's like, oh yeah, I totally understand what he just said in case I spoke in a way that didn't connect.